I've known Scott Rigell for over 20 years. He's a great leader. He's not afraid to make the tough decisions. See, I trust Scott not only to make decisions that benefit our community today, but my kids and their kids, generations to come.
I know it's important to have a fellow veteran like Scott Rigell who will always support our men and women in the military.
Scott will be an ardent supporter of law enforcement agencies and our armed forces.
It's an important thing that he's really displayed for his kids and other people like me, his work ethic. He just really commits to what he does and does it well. Scott's just 150% all the time.
Scott went to Nicaragua for a missions trip, and there he went to an orphanage, and my fiance was working at the orphanage. Rohair Orozco, Scott invited Rohair to come to the States for an education. From the very beginning, Rohair became part of their family, so I'm forever grateful for that.
He's a patriot, a great American, a guy who really brought himself up by his own bootstraps in the cleaning business and then back to school to get his master's to decide that he also should have the opportunity to live the American dream and to create a car dealership and to build a great company.
He understands what it's like to sign paychecks. Scott will work to make sure that our tax burden is fair and regulations allow businesses to thrive.
Scott Rigell is exactly the man we need in Washington, someone who has literally created hundreds of new jobs and will always be a friend to small business.
It's nice to have people say, I'm on board with you. It's people who believe in him saying, Scott, we're with you, we're behind you 110%. It's not about, well, look how many endorsements I've got, isn't that awesome? It's about people getting on board with him and saying, Scott, we support you. He thinks it's very important that it come from the people, that they want him to run. That people need to believe, fully believe that he's the best candidate to represent them. My grandfather served active duty, Iwo Jima, Tinian, Saipan. My father served 6 years. He never got activated. My dad, like me, feels that it's very important to serve your country. He thought it was his duty to say, I need to set off a few years of my life that says, I'm here if they need me. The same way that when I came up, I said, I'm here for them if they need me. It's in the family. We've got both my cousins, my dad's sister's sons. Both of them were in. One of them in the reserves, one of them active duty, and one of them's in Afghanistan right now. He cares about the direction of the country. He's always been involved in more of a behind-the-scenes kind of way. It was important to him to help Bob McDonnell, not only as a friend, but as someone who could help the whole country. For the folks that say, well, Scott's out of touch, he's just a big car dealer, you can't relate to anybody. He wasn't always the Freedom Automotive guy. The guy didn't have anything. They moved, my mom and him moved all of their furniture from Florida to Virginia in one little U-Haul trailer behind a station wagon, everything they owned. They started a cleaning business where they cleaned homes and they also cleaned office buildings. He wasn't always, he wasn't always this big car dealer. At one point, he didn't have anything. Things that people need to know. They need to know that he's a family man, avid hunter, elder at our local church, entrepreneur from a young age, is a cleaning business, Marine Corps, the community involvement, just one of those things when you grow up with it, you don't even realize all the things that he's doing for the community and doing for everyone else, because you think it's totally normal. He's honest, he's genuine, he's all those things that some people might think are kind of cliche, but when you meet him and you realize who he really is, you can't reach another conclusion. There was a gentleman interviewing my mom, and he asked her, why are people going to believe you? Because they're going to say, well, you're his wife. Of course you're going to say nice things about him. My mom almost got frustrated that people would even question, that someone would even challenge her and I both. We know that when you meet my dad face to face and you talk with him, you realize that he is the real deal. He is it. That is him as a genuine person. That's just who he is. Those are his core values.
But I'm not just saying that to say nice things. This is something that I just believe and have watched from the very beginning of his life and our marriage together, what kind of man he is. And I feel like there are other people that know him besides his wife that would say the same thing to you about him. He's an honest man, he's a man of integrity, and a man that they believe would do a great job serving in Congress. I mean, what you see is what you get. People definitely support Scott, because they've gotten to know what kind of a person he is. That he's a person of very strong character. They like him and they respect him and they know that he would do a good job. I have never met anybody that I respect like I respect Scott Rigell.